Okay, so thank you so much for joining the miracle work. It's great that you're here, that we join in this beautiful light that's already present, and that's always present in us, but we don't realize it all the time. So today, light is still like right here in my expression too. So I would love to do 3 light lessons in the next couple of sessions that we have, starting with lesson 91, which is really like a light lesson. Yeah, I'm going to use that in this session that we come together, and I will read through it and do the exercises that are in there. We can do that together. That would be totally lovely. And so I'm sharing a screen with you. I'm probably going to do that right now. No, it's not available yet, so I have to do a little trick here. And just to apply it immediately and continue with the idea of light, since that is crucial. Light is crucial. It will even tell you that here. And okay, I'm going to take this away for just a second. So there's something else I want to share first. So that comes in right now. It's like just for the record. Okay, so now we can really start. Karen's here too. Now we can start. Okay, I'm starting right over. Good morning, everyone. So great that you're here in this wonderful miracle work class. I'm really happy that you joined. So the thing with today is that we continue on the idea of light, but see, there's so much practice to do. Like our whole awakening experience is based on the idea of light, and that has a very specific reason. Say we were talking last night, for instance, about the 8 steps to Christ vision, and so continuing with that idea, it is the funny part really is this, in fact, that you cannot perceive in darkness. So you actually cannot perceive in darkness, which is a good thing to remember. I told you about the different frequencies of light that are available. It's like the remembrance of love and light are a high frequency of light. In a low frequency, what you can call your human existence or whatever that is like light is not visible. Like in darkness you cannot see. So if you're full of fear and you're in anxiety, you're in some kind of concern or any kind of preoccupation, you literally can't see. And this becomes obvious, of course, when I say it like this. Then it's like, yeah, of course I cannot see. I'm like blinded by this one idea. But the funny part is that you actually think you still can see, and that you can have options too, that you can choose from. Well, it would be like walking on a chaotic attic for a moment in the dark and trying to look for something. It's like, yeah, you bump against stuff, you suddenly you grab something and it's like, what the hell is that? Or, like that. You cannot see what is there. And looking for something, it would only make a big mess of the whole setup there. So you literally, so even in a physical world, you cannot see in darkness. You literally can't see. So that's a beautiful metaphor, in fact, for the thing that happens when light enters your consciousness. Suddenly you can see, and everything makes perfect sense. That's why Christ vision is so essential, because literally there's nothing else to see. All the things that you think you see are not that. So that means that you have no opportunity, or you have no alternative in when you take that as your world and as your say as that what is there for you to choose from. So that's, and you see the outcomes at the same time. You see the outcomes of the things that you think are the solution. They are not the solution. They just give you more trouble. It's like trying to solve your own problems with the ways of the world will automatically say, yeah, cause you more trouble. So I don't know if that's an experience that you're very familiar with, but I know from my own experience it is. Like if I try to solve a problem, oh my God, you better get out of the way. It's getting messy. So yeah, because I cannot see the alternatives when I'm blinded by my ideas, when I think that this world is all that there is, when I'm completely consumed and identified with this world, so to speak, then I have no alternative. So here comes the light that we're talking about. Here comes the light, and to put that literally in the right perspective for us and practice with it, that starts to make sense. Then it's such a like, yes, of course that is working and not anything else is working. You cannot see in darkness. So light is your only hope, really. So did you lose your hope? You're probably trying to look for a solution in darkness. There is none. You cannot see in darkness. So that is the basic, the bottom line in this introduction. So now I'm sharing the screen with you because now we're going to do the lesson. But I thought it was essential to hear this. Then the lesson becomes easy and joyous too. So here's my lesson. So we're starting at this part, miracles are seen in light. So I'm making that a little bigger, 150, and try to put it in the middle. Okay, that's not working for me. Maybe for you it does. I can make it even bigger. So yeah, that's better. Miracles are seen in light. And miracles being your possibility to come into direct contact with God and having a moment of recognition and remembrance. Miracles are seen in light. It is important to remember that miracles and vision necessarily go together. This needs repeating and frequent repeating. It is the central idea in your new thought system and the perception which it produces. The miracle is always there. Its presence is not caused by your vision. Its absence is not the result of your failure to see. It is only your awareness of miracles that is affected. You will see it in light, and you will not see it in the dark. Well, this is exactly what I said in the beginning. Like, you will see it in the light, you will see miracles in the light, but you will not see them in the dark. You literally cannot see in darkness. But the miracle is always there. And it does not depend on you seeing it. It's not, say, its presence is not caused by your vision. So it's more like, if you try to look for it in darkness, you will not be able to find it because it's not there. It's your dark attic, and you're trying to find something, and you're making a mess of it. So it continues here then. To you, then, light is crucial. While you remain in darkness, the miracles remain unseen. Thus you are convinced it is not there. And this is what you feel, what you have experienced too. It's like, it's inevitable. You really think that there's no solution when you try to look for it in darkness. When you're covered, say, under a cloud of denial, in fact, when you're covered in that, you don't think that there's a solution or miracle possible. There's like literally nothing that can lift you out of it. You sank into your darkness, into your drama, and there's no solution for it. And it feels horrible and closed and imprisoned. So we're all familiar with that, so that's great. To you then, light is crucial. While you remain in darkness, the miracle remains unseen. Thus you are convinced it is not there. This follows from the premises, from which, I better put on my glasses, from the premises from which the darkness comes. Denial of light leads to failure to perceive it. Failure to perceive light is darkness, is to perceive darkness. The light is useless to you then, even though it is there. You cannot use it because its presence is unknown to you. And the seeming reality of the darkness makes the idea of light meaningless. Oh, this is great too. It's like you really think that the darkness that you're seeing, that you find yourself in the middle of, is everything there is. It's like literally becomes you. You become every aspect of it, and it is dark, and there's no solution for it. Like you don't think that there's another option. I love this because it's so clear, and you probably have this experience too. It's like how impossible it feels when you're in darkness, how impossible it feels when you're caught by perception, like really thinking that that's the only reality you have, and that that's the only thing that there is. How imprisoning that experience is. And that can shift, of course, in a moment, but when you're in it, yeah. So to be told what you do not see is there sounds like insanity. It is very difficult to become convinced that it is insanity not to see what is there and to see what is not there instead. You do not doubt that the body's eyes can see. You do not doubt the images they show you are reality. You do not doubt the images they show you are reality. Your faith lies in darkness, not the light. How can this be reversed? For you it is impossible, but you're not alone in this. All right, so here we stop for just a moment. So this is what I shared in the beginning too. It's like you really think that what you perceive is all there is for just that moment. You know, you really think that that is all there is. That's all the drama in the world. That's all the drama that in your life, all of it. You think that that what your eyes perceive is really there. You have no question about that, because it seems to tell you everything about yourself. It seems to direct you. It seems to ask things of you, like it has an authority over you. It keeps you busy. It keeps you occupied. It keeps you, So you can say like that's an all-consuming idea. You really think that that is your reality. In that, then, you're literally walking around in darkness when you really take a good look at it. You're walking around in darkness and you wonder why you feel the way you feel. So these things are good to realize. It is not a natural environment for you to be in darkness. No, you're a light being. You are not a dark thing. You're like, no, it is like the Middle Ages where you walk around in. A slaughterhouse, a wilderness. You turn on your YouTube channel with the news or your who knows what, your news app, and you see all about it. And you really think that that is your world where you have to respond to. until you don't, of course. So something needs to happen, and you came to the point, that's why you're here. It's like you came to the point where you realize, well, that's not it for me anymore. There has to be something else. This doesn't make any sense. See, and this is where the possibility opens up for you to entertain, first of all, ideas about a new vision that can come to you. You know, your Christ vision, or whole vision, whole mind vision, your, yeah, what really has to do with your reality, with your real reality, instead of the one that you think you were. So this is so determining your day all the time, every day. You know, it's pretty wild. So now we have moments where we meditate and say calm down in a perception of all things. We close our eyes and go into our closet just to sit for a moment in quiet, just to let the world go for a moment. And even the idea of letting go of a world is something that is like wrapped in fear for you, because the world to you is dear in a certain sense. It is all that you have and that you can hold, and you don't want to lose that either. Really, really interesting setup, isn't it? If you look at it from this perspective, like you want to hold on to something that hurts you. Like, why would you do that? You hold on to something that brings you no hope. Why? You hold on to something that continuously disappoints you, that has nothing to do with your reality, and actually you know it. And that's why you're here. It's like you actually know all these things. That's why you cannot be content with it. That's why it will never fulfill, and you know that. But to give it up is another step. That's a whole different story. But entertaining ideas that it holds no reality feels really great too. If you look at that for a moment, it feels really good to have a possibility of letting go of these ideas. That keeps you going for a while. It is your awakening experience. You every little bit of hope perpetuates you in time for a little bit longer, until you bump your head again, or realize on a deeper level, like, no, I gotta stop doing this. No, this is not it. No, I'm not looking for it. Or, you know, like this. But every little bit, little spark of light, say, you integrate it in your human existence, and you fly for a day or two, and then it's already gone again. Then you're stuck in it, stuck in your humanhood again. This little bit of light seems to, say, help you to have your head above the water instead of under the water, so you can still breathe a little bit. But then you sink back down into darkness until it all consumes your ideas about yourself, and then you're stuck in it and you have no idea how to get out of it again. I know I lived like that for a long time. Like, you have your weekend, maybe a great seminar or real nice intensive where you dance and where you have fun, and that stays with you for a couple of days, and you sink back into your conflict. In fact, that's a very familiar pattern for me, at least, in my early days. So something happens when you are letting this idea of light come into you on a daily basis, when you really start to practice this, just like we're going to do in a moment. So you don't want just a little bit of light to keep you going in your humanhood. That's not enough. That's not sufficient. No, you want more. In fact, you will come to the point where you want more than that. You just don't want to be sustained in your humanhood. No, you want to be transformed in it. You want a real fundamental change to occur, that you recognize yourself as a light being, as an extension of the love of God, instead of a human being trying to, say, infuse itself with some bright ideas before it sinks back down into darkness. I love it. So here we go, we continue. Okay, so the fourth paragraph, L4. Your efforts. Oh yeah, so your faith lies in darkness, not the light. Why, I illustrated that a little bit. How can this be reversed? Because that's really what you truly want. How can this be reversed? For you, it is impossible, but you're not alone in this. Okay, so you're not alone in this has a biblical reference, and that's here in Matthew 19:26. But Jesus looked at them and said to them, with man this is impossible, but with God all things are possible. So that's good to realize. Jesus looked at them and said to them, with man this is impossible, but with God all things are possible. Aramaic plain English. Matthew 19:26. This is beautiful. But Jeshua, Jesus, said to his disciples, Amen, I say to you that it's difficult for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. A rich man then can be seen as one heavily invested in the world. Amen, I say to you, it is difficult for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. And again I say to you that it is easier for a camel to enter the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. But the disciples, when they heard, they were greatly amazed, and they were saying, who then can have life? And Joshua gazed at them, and he said to them, this is impossible with the children of man, but everything is possible with God. This is impossible with the children of man, but everything is possible with God. So that was Matthew 20:22-26. All right, so we continue here with L5. Wait, I missed something here. Okay, when you have felt the strength in you. No, I missed something here. Wait a minute. Your efforts, however little they may be, have strong support. Did you but realize how great this strength, your doubts would vanish. Your efforts, however great they may be, have strong support. Did you realize that great strength, your doubts would vanish? Today we will devote ourselves to attempt to let you feel this strength. When you have felt the strength in you, which makes all miracles within your easy reach, you will not doubt. The miracles your sense of weakness hide will leap into the awareness as you feel the strength within you. Okay, so we're directly diving into the practice here. 3 times today, set aside about 10 minutes for a quiet time in which you try to leave your weakness behind This is accomplished very simply as you instruct yourself that you are not a body. Faith goes to what you want, and you instruct your mind accordingly. Your will remains your teacher, and your will has all the strength to do whatever it desires. You can escape the body if you choose. You can experience the strength in you. Begin the longer practice periods with this statement of true cause and effect relationships. Miracles are seen in light. The body's eyes do not perceive light. But I'm not a body. What am I? Miracles are seen in light. The body's eyes do not perceive the light. But I'm not a body. What am I? The question with which this statement ends is needed for our exercises today. What you think you are is a belief to be undone, but what you really are must be revealed to you. The belief you are a body calls for correction, being a mistake. The truth of what you are calls on the strength in you to bring to your awareness what the mistake concealed. If you're not a body, what are you? You need to be aware of what the Holy Spirit uses to replace the image of a body in your mind. You need to feel something to put your faith in as you lift it from the body. You need a real experience of something else, something more solid and more sure, more worthy of your faith and really there. If you are not a body, what are you? Ask this in honesty, and then devote several minutes to allowing your mistaken thoughts about the attributes to be corrected and their opposites to take their place. Say, for example, I'm not weak but strong. I am not helpless but all-powerful. I am not limited but unlimited. I am not doubtful but certain. I am not an illusion but a reality. I cannot see in darkness but in light. So let's do this right now. So we're going to take a moment to say to ourselves, like miracles. So say it with me. Miracles are seen in light. The body's eyes do not perceive the light. But I'm not a body. What am I? What am I? I'm not weak. And you can say this with me too. I'm not weak, but strong. I'm not helpless, but all-powerful. I'm not limited, but unlimited. I'm not doubtful, but certain. I'm not an illusion, but a reality. I cannot see in darkness, but in light. Miracles are seen in light. The body's eyes do not perceive the light. But I'm not a body. What am I? So we're going to sit still with that for just a moment. That's great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So you can do it today too. It's like just sit with it. What am I? Let that be revealed to you. What am I? I'm not this body, but what am I? So I'm reading, continuing reading in L9 here. In the second phase of the exercise period, try to experience these truths about yourself. Concentrate particularly on the experience of strength. Remember that all sense of weakness is associated with the belief you are a body, a belief that is mistaken and deserves no faith. Try to remove your faith from it, if only for a moment. You will become accustomed to keeping faith with the more worthy in you as we go along. Relax for the rest of the practice period, confident that your efforts, however meager, are fully supported by the strength of God and all his thoughts. It is from them your strength will come. It is through their strong support that you will feel the strength in you. They are united with you in this practice period in which you share a purpose like their own. Theirs is the light in which you will see miracles because their strength is yours. Their strength becomes your eyes that you may see. 5 or 6 times an hour at reasonably regular intervals. Remind yourself that miracles are seen in light. Also be sure to meet temptation with today's idea. This form would be helpful for this special purpose. Miracles are seen in light. Let me not close my eyes because of this. Miracles are seen in light. Let me not close my eyes because of this. Alright, so see, this is a great exercise or a great lesson. So there are 3 light lessons right after one another. And so the next 2 we're going to do the other day, like the next session that we meet in the miracle work. So the great thing with this is you can use this when you're actually experiencing something that you would call weakness or limitation or all of that. Like now that becomes a red flag in your mind. It's like, wait a minute, I'm actually expressing myself as weak and as frail and as limited and say dependent and all these attributes that I give to myself. Like that is not what I am. And with this lesson I remember like there's something else that supports me to have a different experience of myself. So I cannot make that idea real to myself anymore. I'm not this body, so I'm something else. I want to know what that is so that I can put my faith in it. I don't want to put my faith any longer in something that I am not. You know, so this is a great tool, in fact, a great opportunity for a different experience of yourself. And you see the essence of it. It's like in darkness, when you trust your senses as an identification of yourself, when you trust your senses, you're lost in that. You're literally in darkness and not understanding why no miracles are happening. Like you're literally enclosed into this bubble of denial where you find yourself in. So now you know that. That's so great. Now you know it. So there's a way out of that. Not by your own doing, not for the children of man, as it says here. Like there's no hope for the children of men in that setup. no, there's something else possible. You will not come to it by your human means. Something else needs to happen, and you have great support. So invite that support, apply that, and say, dislodge yourself from your self-definitions as you have done. Like, oh no, I'm not weak, I'm strong. Oh, I'm this, no, I'm that. No, I'm not an illusion, I'm a reality. See, all these things you know about yourself, it is just that you forget about them. So I'm not this, I'm not weak, I'm strong. I'm like all powerful. All power is given unto you in heaven and on earth. So that's not a little thing. So it doesn't leave you empty-handed in the sense of I'm not able to do anything. I'm just this little victim, and I suffer around in my darkness. Like, no, you cannot say confirm that to yourself anymore as your description of yourself. Those days are over. So this is a great lesson to practice it, and the ones that are coming up, like 92 and 93, are only like putting more tools and more, say, opportunities on top of it. So it's great practice. So thank you so much for actively participating in this lesson. That's so great, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you so much.